right, let's talk about elapsed time. So elapsed time is a standard that a lot of kids don't feel as confident in as some other standards covered. It is a more challenging standard because not only do they have to be able to read the clock, they need to know how to add time to time and take away time from time. And there are really three different types of elapsed time word problems. We're going to go over quickly all three of these. Hopefully it'll give you a little bit better understanding or idea of how to do elapsed time. So this is our first example. This is a word problem. It says Kylie left the house at 9:05 to go to the store. She arrived at the store at 9:32. How long did it take her to get to the store? So how I like to teach elapsed time is I like to always do an anchor, not an anchor chart, a T-chart. So I'm going to draw my T-chart, and I'm working with just a little bit of space here. So normally it wouldn't be this crowded, but I tried to fit everything on one board just to make it a little bit easier. So I'm going to write my start time at the very top. So if you go back and read your word problem, you can see that her start time is the time she left the house, which is 9:05. So my start time is 9:05. I'm going to use the left side of my T-chart for the time increments, and the right side is where I'm going to be writing the time. Now, the question that they want us to answer is how long did it take her to get to the store? So we want to make sure in the end, since it's asking how long, that our answer is in hours and minutes and is not a time written out. That is something that a lot of kids tend to mess up on towards the end. They write the time that she got to the store instead of the amount of time that it takes, when we already know what time she got to the store. She got there at 9:32. It says it right here. So I'm going to write 9:32 at the bottom just so I have a quick glance and I can clearly see my start time is 9:05, my end time is 9:32. Okay, so now what I want to do first is I want to ask myself, what is the biggest time increment I can add to 9:05 to not go past 9:32? So I always tell my kids to ask themselves, can we add an hour to our start time and not go over our stop time? So for example, my start time is 9:05. Can I add an hour to 9:05 and not past 9:32? Okay, no, I can't, because an hour past 9:05 would be 10:05. So now I want to go in increments of 10 minutes and 5 minutes. So I'm going to add 10 minutes to 9:05. And I'm going to write that increment of time on the left-hand side under my start column. And then you take your time, 9:05 plus 10 minutes would be 9:25. Sorry, my handwriting's a little terrible. I'm doing this one-handed while trying to hold the camera. Okay, now I want to ask myself, can I add another 10 minutes to my new time of 9:25 and not go over my stop time? Okay, if I add 10 minutes to 9:25, that would give me 9:35, which is past my stop time, so I cannot add another 10 minutes. So now I'm going to ask myself if I can add 5. Okay, can I add 5 minutes to 9:25 and not go over 9:32? Yes, I can. So I'm going to write 5 minutes. And then 9:25 plus 5 minutes is 9:30. Okay, now my start time, my stop time is 9:32. I'm now at 9:30. So I need to figure out what I can add to 9:30 to give me my stop time. Okay, 9:30 plus what is going to give me 9:32? 2 minutes. So I'm going to write 2 minutes over here. That's going to give me my stop time of 9:32. Ooh. Okay, now I'm not finished. A lot of kids do their T-charts correctly. They start at the start time, they end at the stop time, but my answer is how long. I want to know how long it took her to get to the store. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take all of my time increments and I'm going to add them up. I'm going to add all of my hours up first, which there are no hours in this problem. And then I'm going to add my minutes. So 10 minutes plus 5 minutes plus 2 minutes. 10 minutes plus 5 minutes is 15. 15 minutes plus 2 minutes is 17. So my answer is it took Kylie 17 minutes to get to the store. Okay? Now, another type of problem is one that they give you the start time. They give you the stop time. They tell you how long that activity lasts, and they want you to find the start time. So these are a little bit more difficult than adding the time, okay, when they give you the start time and the stop time, because this you're going to have to subtract time. So you're going to have to go backwards. All right, so we have Alan finished playing video games at 8:17 and he played for 57 minutes. What time did he start? So I have my stop time. I want to know what time he starts playing video games. So my answer is going to be a time this time, not the number of hours in minutes like we did on our last one. So again, I'm going to start with a T-chart. And I'm going to write my finished time up at the top. So Alan finished at 8:17. So I'm going to write my end time, which is 8:17. Now, he played for 57 minutes, and I want to know what time he started. So I'm going to take away 57 minutes from 8:17 to figure out what time he started playing his video games. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take 8:17 and I'm going to take away increments in minutes, okay? Because he didn't play over an hour, so I cannot take an hour away. That would be too much time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by taking 10 minutes from 8:17. So I'm going to take away 10 minutes from 8:17, which is going to give me 8:07. We're going backwards because we're finding our start time. Okay, I want to do this until this column has reached 57 minutes, and right now I'm at 10. So I'm going to take another 10 minutes away. And I'm going to get 7, because after you go to 8 o'clock, you're going backwards. The hour before 8 is 7. I'm going to get 7:57. Okay, I've taken away 20 minutes. I want to take away 57 minutes. So I'm going to take away another 10 minutes. 7:57 minus 10 minutes is 7:47. I'm going to take another 10 minutes away. That's going to give me 7:37. Okay, so far I've taken away 40, and I want 57 taken away. So I'm going to take another 10 away, and that's going to give me 7:27. Okay, I've taken 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes away, and I want 57 minutes. So I'm going to take away another 7 minutes, and I'm going to get 7:20. Because 7:27 minus 7 minutes is 7:20. Okay, now I'm going to double check my work before I write my answer. So we want to make sure that all this time over here, is equal to 57 minutes, because that's how long that he played. We want to make sure that all of our time is decreasing and not increasing, because we're finding the start time. So I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 57 minutes, which is what I needed. He started at 8:17. My time continually decreases until I get my end time of 7:20. So he starts playing his video games at 7:20. Now, obviously, a way to check your answer would be to take your time of 7:20 and add 57 minutes to it, kind of like our other problem that we just did. And if you do it correctly, and if you've done your problem correctly, you should get the end time of 8:17. Some kids do better with a visual, so if you need to, out to the side, draw your clock with the 12, the 6, the 3, the 9, and then the 1 and 2, and have them have a clock visually there for them. Sometimes it's easier for the kids to see that, and that's totally okay. Now, on tests, they will not be given a clock like a manipulative, but if they need to draw their own clock on their scratch sheet of paper, they are absolutely more than welcome to. Okay, so we've talked about how we've been given a finish time and we wanted the start time on this problem. This problem was, we were given a start time and an end time, and we wanted to figure out how long she went to the store, or it took her to get to the store. And our last problem is going to be a start time, and then it gives us how long that activity lasts, and we have to figure out the end time. So it's kind of like our Allen, where it gives us a finish time and it gives us the amount of time, except this time we're given the start time and we want to figure out the end time. So we're going to add time to 10:02 rather than take it away like we did our last one. So we have John's birthday party started. Okay, it started at 10:02 and it lasted 45 minutes. What time, so I know my answer is going to be written in time form, not the number of hours and minutes, did his party end? So I'm giving a start time and I am given the amount of time that his party lasts. So just like our first problem, I'm going to write our start time up at the top, which is 10:02. And then I'm going to add 45 minutes to 10:02, and I'm going to make sure this column over here is going, if I add it up, to equal 45 minutes. But my answer is going to be a time because the question asks what time. If it says how long, then your answer is going to be in hours and minutes. If it says what time, then you need to really make sure that your answer is an actual time and not the number of hours and minutes. Okay, so our start time is 10:02 and I want to add 45 minutes. So I'm not going to add an hour because we're only doing 45 minutes. So an hour would be too long. His party did not last over an hour. So I'm going to start again with my 10 minutes. So 10:02 plus 10 minutes is going to be 10:12. Okay, I'm going to add another 10 minutes, which is going to be 10:22. I'm going to add another 10 minutes, which is going to be 10:32. Okay, I'm going to stop and make sure I haven't went over my time. So far, I've added 10, 20, 30 minutes to my start time, and I want to add 45. So I know I'm good to keep going. So I've added 30, I want 45, so I'm going to add another 10 minutes. 10:32 plus 10 minutes is 10:42. Okay, I've added 40 minutes now. I want 45, so I'm going to add my 5 minutes. And 10:42 plus 5 minutes is going to be 10:47. So his birthday party ended at 10:47. I hope this is helpful to you guys. If you have any questions, please let me know. Please, if you need to draw the visual of the clock like we started over here, I didn't finish it, you're more than welcome to. You won't be given a clock manipulative on the tests or anything like that, but you will have scratch paper and you can definitely draw your own clock. That way you can kind of visually see the clock. Key points is to make sure if it gives you a finish time and you're wanting the start time, that you are taking time away. Okay? If it gives you a beginning and end time and it wants to know how long something took, that's when you're going to add up all your minutes over here. So remember, we wrote our start time, we wrote our end time, and we added minutes until we got to our end time. And that's when we asked ourselves, can I add an hour? Can I add 10 minutes? Can I add another 10 minutes? And we kept on working until we got to our end time. And then we added up all of our time increments on the left-hand side of our T-chart. And then on these, if it gives you a start time and it tells you how long the activity lasts, you're going to take your start time and you're going to add however long the activity lasts to your start time, and that's going to give you your end time. Okay, so hopefully this gives you some clarification and will allow you to be able to practice and become more confident and kick elapsed time in the booty.